Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Tony Grillo, and welcome to my channel, Wisconsin Hugs. Just thought I'll make a quick video there. I got some light shining in there. I getting ready to leave for work. I have to take off today. Head to Minnesota. Got a load of beer actually. I'm hauling out there. But wanted to share a little Facebook, I don't know what you want to call it, debate, argument. I haven't put one of these on my YouTube channel in a while. It tends to, anger people, but at the same time, I think this is a really good chat because between the two of us, because it was pretty friendly. I think both of us got our points across, and I even thanked her for giving me the forum to say what I had to say, So I'm going to share that with all of you, and I hope you're all having a great day. Me and the girlfriend, we went and saw John Wick 4 yesterday, and, really good movie. I was looking at the stats of how many people actually die in that movie, in all the movies, and it averages out to be like one of the movies had like 90, and then the second one had 120, and the third one was back up around 100. So it averages about 100 people a movie that John Wick winds up killing. And then of course John Wick 4, it's 140 people that he winds up killing. And I don't want to give anything away, but make sure you stay after the credits. There is a scene, a movie scene after the credits, and it's pretty good. You're going to want to catch that. I had read somewhere online that there was even talk about creating a spin-off movie from that one scene at the end of the movie of John Wick 4. And they were talking about maybe creating a spin-off using different characters. So that's all I want to say on that one. But my girlfriend here, she's making me breakfast. She's such a good girlfriend. She made me these wonderful eggs and bacon. And so I am going to want to eat this as soon as I'm done talking to you, so I don't want to talk too long. But you watch these violent movies, and after you finish them, at least for me, it's like I don't want to go kill a bunch of people. I just don't want to do that. I love people. I love life. I don't want violence at people. I mean, when I go see a movie like that, it's an escapism. You're gonna spend 2 hours in John Wick's world, which is very dangerous and stylish and eccentric characters, and they do a lot of action, a lot of martial arts, a lot of fun battle scenes, and for that 2 minutes, it's fun to spend that 2 hours, fun to spend that 2 hours in his world. But that doesn't mean I want to go kill people. I want to shoot people. I just don't want to do that. And I think most people are the same way. And even when you're debating, people, it is funny how some people can just get really angry if you don't agree with them. I don't know how many Facebook friends I've lost, or over the years, because I'm not going to bend, you're not going to bend, so what's the point of sometimes you keep scrolling. But there was one Facebook post, and lately I've tended to not want to debate anybody, because I just am tired of pissing people off. I lost friends, family from Facebook just because of these debates, and I've just figured what's the point, But this one Facebook post kind of got to me a little bit, and I had to respond to it. So I'm going to show all of you what that post was. Okay, so here's the post that my friend Julie wrote. Someone using a chosen pronoun to describe themselves doesn't affect who you are. Be kind. And then well, look at some of the comments here. It's a sad day in hell when one doesn't know what sex they are. Cassie writes, the Bible says stone people to death. So, she has a point there. We don't want to do that. And another person says, always be kind. And girl I went to high school with, Kristen here, she says, agree, I just don't want them to expect me to confirm using those because it confuses me, and B, I'm an English person and it messes with my head. I personally don't care, what or who someone identifies as. People are just people. So, good comment. And of course, I had to add my 2 cents in here, and so we'll get to that here. Okay, I have no problems with this. If you want to be called a tomato, you can call yourself whatever you want. Just don't expect me to call you a tomato when I know you aren't. And don't teach kids that you are a tomato when you aren't. It goes both ways. I can't feed into ideas that don't have truth, logic, or reality. You have a right to call yourself a tomato. I have a right not to call you a tomato when I know you aren't a tomato. And you should be nice to everyone. I would say what the trans shooter in Nashville did by killing 3 kids and 3 adults wasn't very nice. Okay. All right, so Julie did respond to that, and she said, Tony Grillo, but if I identify as a female, which I do, it would be hurtful to me if you call me a man. My post is about respect. It doesn't hurt us to use the pronouns someone asks us to use, but hurts them if we refuse. Okay. Well, so she says, if I identify as a female, which I do, it would be hurtful if you call me a man. Yeah, well, I look at her and I know she's not a man, so I would be a dick if I called her a man. So, but here we go. This is what I wrote. I don't agree with your definition of nice. You are telling me that I have to accept their lie or their delusion in order to be nice. Okay, I'll debate you since this is a friendly conversation. Yeah, I've been trying to avoid debates lately, Facebook fights. But this one, I wanted to talk about this post. It would not be nice of me to affirm an anorexic person's belief that they are fat. It is a mental illness that causes them depression. So why would being nice mean I affirm someone's mental illness and depression that is caused by suffering from gender dysphoria? You don't affirm anorexia by saying that person is fat. You don't affirm someone suffering from gender dysphoria. Both cases are treated by getting the person to accept and love themselves for who and what they are. Being nice means you help them overcome their mental illness. You are saying being nice means being accepting, and I don't agree. But I'm glad for this post because I could say what I believe without being attacked because you're being nice. Yeah, I don't know how many liberal friends she has, and I've been in situations where I've said things and then I'll get like 20, people that are extremely liberal, and they'll just take one sentence that you write and they'll just go attack that one sentence that they don't agree with without reading your whole thought process, your whole ideas. And people like that they just want to fight. That's all they want to do. They want to fight. And I'm not really into fighting anymore. But I did respond again because I felt I needed to say a little more. So I said, I do like this post. The timing of it ties well with the Nashville murders by a trans person. Oh yeah, she wrote a comment in there saying that her post had nothing to do with the shootings in Nashville. Okay, and I kind of disagreed with that because of the timing of her post. So the idea that you shouldn't say something because it might hurt someone's feelings is ludicrous. People use this argument to get people they don't agree with to shut up. Truth should never be silenced. If my truth is false or wrong, then that's on... I don't know why I wrote Mr. in there. That's not what I meant to say. That's on them. It should have said that's on them. If you can't handle my truth... Oh, okay. That's on me. Okay. If my truth is false or wrong, then that's on me. If you can't handle my truth, that's on you, you know? And yeah, people have a right, you know, you have a right to say the truth. You have a right to say whatever you want to say. At the same time, when you're listening to it, you don't have to agree with it. And if you let it get you mad, that's on you, you know? But I should never be shamed or bullied into not telling the truth because it hurts your feelings. Tom Cruise demanded the truth after Jack Nicholson told him he couldn't handle it. Being nice is when your wife says, do I look fat in these pants? And you always say no, okay? But being nice doesn't mean accepting lies or denying the truth. You should always be nice, and you should always seek the truth. It's up to you whether you accept the truth or not, and it's on you whether or not you let that truth hurt your feelings. Okay. And then Julie said, your truth is your truth, and someone's truth is their truth. I stick by what I say. Okay. So she's just sidestepping everything that I said. So, you know, I decided to respond to that. And I said, you know, you are one of the nicest people I know. So it's probably surprising finding someone here that doesn't agree with your idea of the definition of nice. I noticed you didn't condemn the Nashville murders by the trans shooter. So maybe we can agree on what isn't nice. What isn't nice is someone being murdered because they support trans beliefs, or they support Christianity, or maybe they support both. I'm sure we can agree on that. And then this is where Julie said, Tony Grillo, this post was not about the murders. You put your own spin on what I stated and made it personal. I am not going to go back and forth in a negative spiral. See, it's amazing that she's defining my commentary as negative spiral, and so that's how she sidesteps every point that I was making. She just sidesteps it, and she just called it negative. You can think whatever you wish about me, and that's okay. So Chad responded, that's your reply to what Tony had to say? That's not truth at all. It's a lie. Facts are facts. Call yourself whatever sex, plant, or animal you want, but let kids be kids and let them make decisions about when the proper time comes. And I totally agree with that philosophy. And then she responded, and now I tell she's probably getting a little bit upset, but you know, she responded, if you view me as a liar, that's your opinion. I'm at peace with myself and God. See, she just said that he was calling her a liar. He didn't say that at all. But that's how she responded to it. And you know, it's kind of wild when you debate people like this. If they don't like what you have to say, they'll say that your response is negative, or they'll say that you're calling me a liar. And we didn't say that at all. We didn't call her a liar. We're telling her that her viewpoint is wrong, and we were making points about that. And so Chad responded, you're really only lying to yourself. Exactly. He's exactly right on that. But you are helping to promote other people's lies. And that was my point too. Exactly. And Chad hit that one right on the numbers. He said, I'm an alcoholic. No matter what I'll do, I'll always be me. No matter what I tell myself or other people, the fact that I'm an alcoholic will never change. So, Julie Rose said, Tony Grill, I'm not sure how you can know what I say to myself, but again, I'm confident in my belief system and maintaining peace. Okay, well, she feels confident about that, I guess, you know, and if she doesn't like what she hears, then she calls that person being mean or not being nice or being negative. And that's how she can feel good about her logic and her reasoning for why she believes what she wants to believe. But I had to respond to this a little bit. I didn't want to fight with her, and I didn't want to get her upset. I could tell she was getting mad. So I just wanted to make another point, and I said, Julie, I guess your interpretation of being nice also means not condemning the murder of anyone for any reason. I don't agree at all. I don't think there's anything more to add. I don't spin. I debate using logic. I did take logic in college, so when I do debate, I try to make sure that every premise that I use is truth, and I don't have any fallacies in there. And then when I make my conclusion, I want to make sure my conclusion is logical. You know, uh, I didn't see you make any answers to the points I raised. And she did. She sidestepped everything. She said my responses were negative. She didn't want to go in a negative spin. She didn't answer any of the things when I talked about anorexia. She didn't. When you do, would you affirm an anorexic person's belief that they are fat? She didn't answer that point. And then I compared that. That's the same thing with gender dysphoria. She didn't want to debate that. She just, because she's in that mindset that you should, be nice. Being nice means agreeing to people's pronouns. So then, I wanted to, I've been Facebook friends with Julie for a long time. I really enjoy her as a Facebook friend. And so I don't want to leave her upset, so I tried to calm it down a little bit, the rhetoric. So I responded, and I had some time because I was in Rochester, Minnesota. My trailer was getting unloaded, and I was waiting for my trailer to get unloaded. So I had some time to sit and respond to her. So I said, this is a great post, and I thank you for letting me say my piece. I'm reminded of the story about Jesus. Pilate asked, what is truth? And Jesus didn't say a word. Maybe he didn't have to because it was staring Pilate right in the face, but he was blind. And, there was a reason why I said that, because I was trying to tell Julie, you're being blind, Julie. The truth is staring you right in the face and you're being blind. But I wanted to continue this a little bit. So I wanted to soften it up a little bit. So I did tell her, because she mentioned about two truths. And actually, I wouldn't call them, each person having their own truths. I would say more it's like opinions. Everybody has their own opinions, I try to base my opinions on truth. She tries to do the same thing. But we don't want to call our opinions truth. You could choose to believe my opinion or not, and I can choose to believe hers the same way. So I did tell her this story that happened. I do know in rare instances there can be two truths. Tom Cruise was with Matt Lauer, and Tom talked about the dangers of antidepressant drugs. He took a lot of heat for saying they don't work, that you have to overcome the mental illness by changing your mind and training your mind how to overcome the depression. Matt Lauer dismissed Tom by arguing that he has a friend on antidepressants and they seem to work for him. Later, Big Pharma admitted the drugs may make people temporarily feel better. Placebos, though, actually had better results. And their studies showed the drugs really did nothing to help people. And Big Pharma pushed a lie to make billions of profit from selling the drugs. So, maybe Matt was telling the truth about his friends saying the antidepressants worked, but Tom Cruise was also telling the truth. They both had an opinion. And many didn't like it. They didn't like Tom Cruise's opinion. But that doesn't mean Tom Cruise isn't nice. And I have no idea if Tom Cruise is nice or not. He may be a jerk. I don't know. You just don't know. I never met the guy. I don't know him. So sometimes truth and nice don't always mix. I mean, there's cases where, very mean people or have told the truth. And then there's there's very nice people that tell lies. So, but when you're thinking about the definition of nice, being nice, in my opinion, if a person is nice, that means they tell the truth. Okay, and that's my opinion. I'm just saying that's my opinion. And if a person isn't nice, that means they don't tell the truth. And that's where I'm coming from. Um, and Chad had an excellent point here, and I'm going to read his point because it's a great point. I had made another post, but apparently it didn't work or post. Point being, you'd think it's nice that women have to compete with men in athletic events. You don't feel bad for them as their life's work's going down the drain. He has a great point there. I just saw a video where some trans guy knocked the crap out of this woman boxer. I mean, it was pathetic. He should not be in the ring with that woman boxer. They shouldn't be swimming. They shouldn't be on a women's volleyball team. I mean, there's a reason why we have women's sports. They're for women. Women wanted equality. They wanted college sports and they wanted scholarships, and that was what that whole thing was all about. And now you got men pretending to be women so that they can have their scholarships and their spots on the team. And then these women don't even want to change in the same locker room with these guys. These guys still have their junk hanging out, and the women don't like that. They feel very uncomfortable. And I honestly feel women are being victimized by trans, this whole situation. But he says, you're okay with boys being in the same locker rooms with your young daughters or friends' daughters that you may know because it's the nice thing to do. I'm certainly not trying to be mean here. I'm just trying to understand your mindset. So let's see how she responded to that. She said, it's not nice to recognize someone for who they are and to respect their choice of pronoun. It is respectful and none of my business. See, there, she sidesteps the whole issue all again. By saying it's none of her business and that she needs to be respectful to their thinking. Well, that kind of thinking is why we're in the mess that we're in right now. So, Julie had mentioned, and this isn't about the school shooting, there are killers of all persuasions, and she's totally right on that point. She is very right. But I had to respond to that because... when she wrote her post and the timing of her post, it triggered me, because I was thinking, why the hell would she write a post like this right on the aftermath of this shooting? And so I responded to what she said there. I said, this is a great post because there are people that are using your argument and definition of nice as being accepting to justify the Nashville murders. So this is important to talk about it. No one deserves to die for what they believe in. See, I cannot get Julie to agree with me on anything. She wouldn't even agree with me on that. No one deserves to die for what they believe in. She would not say the trans shooter was evil. She wouldn't call that person evil. And so, that I couldn't get her to agree with me on anything at that point. Maybe she was just mad because some people disagreed with her, and she never faced heat like that before, from some of her Facebook friends, especially people, I know her very well. We respect each other very much. So this was probably a shock to her. Now, Jackus Voorhees said, I think I'm Facebook friends with that guy too. Someone choosing a pronoun doesn't affect who they are either. People don't use third person pronouns on themselves. I and me are not gender specific. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. People referring to themselves as a they, them, it's just ridiculous because you're a single person. So, what, you're a one-man wolf pack? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I don't agree with that, But, here again, she totally dismisses his argument by saying, Jackus, it really shouldn't matter to you, so it doesn't affect you. See, and that's wrong. But that's how she dismisses his argument. She doesn't address it straight on. She sidesteps it. And she says, well, because it shouldn't matter to you because it doesn't affect you. Well, it does affect you. It's affecting everybody in this nation. You got women's sports with men competing in them. You got men going into women's lockers rooms and women's bathrooms. You got men that claim to be women teaching kids that they're a woman in elementary schools. Yeah, there is a problem going on right now. It's affecting everybody. You have kids, a rising number of kids that all of a sudden are claiming to be trans, and they are extremely becoming suicidal because they can't accept who they are. They want to be something that they can't be. I want to be a fucking professional hockey player. But you know what? I'm 53 years old and I'm too old and I'm not very fast anymore and I need to lose some weight, and there's no way I can't identify as a professional hockey player because I'm not a professional hockey player. And that's the problem. You have people living that want to be in their own reality, and their own reality isn't based in truth. And that's and it's affecting everybody in our society. And now you have people that are so angry, because they can't get their they want to be recognized as for something that they aren't, and then they get frustrated and they go and shoot people, which is totally wrong. I mean, it is just evil. Why don't we just come right out and say that it's evil? Yeah, I didn't read all the comments here. It looks like she got a lot of comments, people that didn't agree with her. So maybe this was good. Maybe it opened her eyes, because a lot of her friends were saying the same thing. They said, people can choose whatever pronoun they want. Exactly. But they can't force me to use it, because just as they have their rights, I also have mine. And if I choose not to go against my religious beliefs and common sense, that should be respected as well. Yeah, exactly. And then she says, I love and respect you. You know that. And I also respect person's requests. Let's see what she has to say. To be referred in the manner they feel best describes them. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, she's, very woman. Yep. And then Sarah responded, subjective truth versus absolute truth is what it all comes down to. Yeah, now we're talking about truths again. Absolute truth comes from God. Subjective truth changes and therefore isn't truth. I just find it easiest to call a person by their name instead of a pronoun they choose. That way I can still use absolute truth when I talk and don't have to worry about someone's subjective truth. That's a great comment right there. That is a great comment. Very great comment right there. And then this person said, right on, Sarah. And I agree with that. So, I have my mugs here. It says fortune teller, probably backwards there. And it says on the inside, I put my spell on you. My girlfriend got me this one because she kind of has gifts or whatever. I think a lot of women do. Intuition and all that jazz. They're more in tune with the world and nature and everything, and yeah, they get visions. I totally believe in that. I believe our brain can, there's lots of parts of our brain that isn't even being used. What they say, like 90% of our brain we don't even use. So there's areas there that other people tap into that we don't. I mean, talk about. I had a nephew who he was severely mentally handicapped, and he couldn't see. He was blind, and but all he had to do was hear a song on a radio, and then he'd get down on a piano, and he knew instantly he could play that song, whatever it was he heard. He what they call that, idiot savant. But I don't like the word idiot because that's kind of a bad word. But you know, but there was a part of his brain that was, that functioned that way, where he could sit on that piano play anything that came, anything he heard instantly. Um, and he was blind, so he couldn't see. He didn't. I don't know if he even knew if he comprehended what notes were. He just knew instantly how to play that song on the piano. But the whole point of my video, hold on here. Lost my train of thought. So I'm just going to end my video. I got to get to work. I have to work today. So, but I just wanted to end my video with that. And I wanted to show it to you, because you can have a friendly debate. Julie is an extremely nice person, um, and so I, when I decided to debate her, I mean, sometimes yeah, I can be mean and nasty, but I didn't, I felt, what's the point of that? When you are that way, then you're not getting any point across whatsoever. And I, not only that, but um, I very much respect her as a person. I think she's a great lady. Her and her husband. I enjoyed both of them on my Facebook. So what's the point of pissing them off and then you lose them as friends? What my point was is you need to be nice, even if you don't agree on another person's definition of being nice. So that's all I have to say. I wish you all a great day. Um, you know, uh, it's a crazy world we live in right now. We live in a sick society. Um, and she does have one point. It's everybody should be nice, and yeah, I agree with her on that. No doubt about that. I agree. We all should be nice to each other. So, all right, out of here. Wisconsin hugs.